So I welcome you to this session of our class. As you have seen my previous videos, we have covered the reheat cycle. Also, we have covered the regenerative ranking cycle. I have advised you to go for some problems. Then we will discuss those things so that the theory portion will be very much clear. Your understanding will be of high level. Now, today we will study about reheat and regenerative Rankine cycle. Okay? Yes. So we will cover reheat and regenerative Rankine cycle. Before going to this portion, I want to clarify what is the need of this reheat regenerative Rankine cycle. This some also call it as your practical cycle or the cycle which is implemented in power plants. This is the most practical one. So what is the need? We have gathered the advantages of reheat cycle and regenerative cycle. Both have got some advantages and some disadvantages. In my previous lectures, if you will see, you can recognize those. Just I am putting a light on those just in a fraction of second. So what we have studied in our previous classes, those are efficiency of reheat cycle. In a broader sense, this efficiency we have written as W net divided by Q in. And you remember this reheat Rankine cycle, there was a series combination of two turbines. So if there was a series combination of two turbines, there was substantial increase in W net. It was there, yes. And there also we incorporated a reheater. In this reheater we have added this heat input. For that this Q in also it is increased. Okay, so both W net is increased, Q in is increased. As a result of which there is not very sure, we are not very sure for increasing efficiency. Why? Because the numerator is increasing and also this denominator is increasing. Then we covered this eta regenerative. Here in a broader sense the efficiency is also like this, W net divided by heat input. Here we have used only one turbine, so this W net is fixed. And as the incorporation of open feed water heaters, this heat input is decreased. So this Q in is decreased. As a result of which the efficiency, surely it is improving. The efficiency is improving. The net work output is not increasing, but as the heat input is decreasing, there is a substantial increase in efficiency. So we will add benefit or advantage of both reheat and regenerative cycle. What is the advantage of reheat cycle? The advantage of reheat cycle is this one. We will take this one. Okay, and this part we will cross. And what is the advantage of regenerative cycle? The advantage of regenerative cycle is this one. Then if both these will added, then this we will add and here this we will add. Okay, then this will be eta reheat and regenerative. This will be W net by Q in. Here W net will go up, Q in will come down and efficiency will remarkably go up. Then how to implement these things in practical, these things we are going to study. Okay. You see, I am going for block diagram for reheat regenerative cycle. How this block diagram? So first we will start from this boiler. First we will go for the reheat cycle. The high pressure steam turbine, the size will be a little bit smaller one. Then here another series connection, there will be low pressure steam turbine. Okay, so this one is your high pressure steam turbine and this one is your low pressure steam turbine. And the steam, here we will incorporate a reheater. This reheater I am writing only RH. Okay. Then here the steam extract, it will go for, here this will be the condenser. Then we have to combine this regenerative portion into this reheat cycle. For this we have to extract two steam bleeding out or two steam bleed portion from the high pressure steam turbine and the low pressure steam turbine respectively. So one extract from here it will come and another extract will come here. Okay, so this will be here OFWH and this will be another OFWH. This will be OFWH, let it be 1, and this will be OFWH 2. Okay, so about this mass fraction I am telling, for a unit mass of steam flow, let it be 1 kg here. Then here at this portion we will bleeding out, let it be x kg of steam. And the rest what is going to this reheater is 1 minus x kg. Then here again 1 minus x kg is going, and at this portion for OFWH2 again we have bleeded out y kg of steam. So what is the mass fraction going to this condenser? To this condenser it will be 1 minus x minus y kg on a unit mass basis. 1 minus x minus y kg of steam. Okay, then we have to add here the condensate. So the condensate which is coming from here, the condenser, it will be added to this OFWH2 through a pump. Let it be, this is your pump 2. Here this is increasing the pressure. This you have covered in regenerative Rankine cycle. I am only adding it up. Then it will be here mix. And the extract will come here. The extract from OFWH2, it will come from this portion. Okay, and this will be feeded into this OFWH1. And another thing you mark here, this is here again the same 1 minus x minus y kg steam is flowing. Here it is coming 1 minus y kg. So what will be the come? If these two will be added, this will be 1 minus x kg. So here this will be pump 1, P1. P1 will increase the pressure of condensate from OFWH2 to OFWH1. This will be feeded to here at this portion. Okay, then after adding it up, then we will find out the feed water for the boiler. Here this will be x kg, and here it will be 1 minus, this will be after addition, this will be y kg, this will be 1 minus x kg. When these two will be added, this will be again 1 kg feed water. So this will be feeded to this boiler through a boiler feed pump. This is BFP, boiler feed pump. This will be feeded to this. Complete. Now we will give naming to the cardinal points. We will start from the boiler exit. So this will be 1. This will be tapping for this OFWH1. This will be state point 2. Here this will be state point 3. Exit from reheater. This will be state point 4. Okay. Then for this OFWH2, this will be state point 5. Then condenser, the steam exit to this condenser. This will be state point 6. This state point 6 is inputting to this pump 2, where it will be come out. This will be state 7. Then state 7 and state 5 both are added. State 5 here and state 7 here. Both are adiabatic mixing takes place in OFWH2. Whatever come out, that will be state point 8. Okay. Then state point 8 is going to OFWH1 through pump 1. So after pump 1, the state is changing to state point 9. 9 and state point 2. This is state point 2. They are both added, and here this will be state point 10. This state point 2, after this boiler feed pump, it will be state point 11. Now these cardinal points we have to represent in our temperature entropy plot. And this I am putting here for our reference to draw the TS plot. Okay, so here I am making it. Along y-axis temperature, along x-axis here it will be entropy. Then I will prepare the vapor dome. Okay, this is the critical point where the vapor dome is changing its sign. Now we will put the pressure lines. How many pressure lines are there? Boiler pressure line and condenser pressure line. These two pressure lines along with OFWH1, OFWH2. So first I will prepare, this is the boiler pressure line, and here this will be the condenser pressure line, and OFWH1, let it be, it will be here. OFWH2. So here we will write it, boiler pressure P OFWH1 P OFWH2 P condenser, and in between this OFWH1 and OFWH2 there will be another, it will be reheating pressure. This will be the reheat pressure line. So here there will be a reheater pressure line. Okay, P RH. So how many pressure lines total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 for boiler and condenser, 2 for open feed water heater 1 and open feed water heater 2 respectively, and the last one is for reheater pressure. Okay, so the input will start from the state 1. So let it be the state 1 is here, superheated high pressure superheated steam. Okay, so here it is expanding to state 2. The 1 kg of steam is expanding up to state 2, or state 2 is of your OFWH1. You mark here the state 2 is the pressure line of OFWH1. So isentropic expansion from state point 1 to state point 2. of this OFWH1. So here I will draw an isentropic expansion line here, and here x kg is being diverted. Then another 1 minus x kg is expanded up to the last, okay, up to the high pressure steam turbine exit. Then this will expand to high pressure steam turbine exit here. Okay, the last is expanding up to this reheater pressure. The last, the state point 2 to state point 3, you just see here, we have got, this is the state point 2. State point 2 to 3, it is expanding isentropically from OFWH1 pressure to reheater pressure. So this is OFWH1 pressure and this is reheater pressure. This is again isentropically expanded. So this is there will be a vertical line. So it will come here, state point 3. Then state point 3, it is reheated to pressure maximum temperature of the cycle. This is the maximum temperature of the cycle. This will be the T max. Okay, state point 3 to state point 4. This is the constant pressure heating in reheater, and this constant pressure reheating will be recorded by here. This constant pressure reheating, it will be here, and this will be state point 4. Okay. Then 4 to 5, it is isentropic expansion up to OFWH2 pressure. So 4 to 5, I am dropping it here. 4 to 5 it is coming. Okay. 5. At state point 5, some mass of steam is bleeded out. What is the mass? Y kg mass. Y kg mass is bleeded out for OFWH2. So here this is the OFWH2. So here I will divert another Y kg of steam. Okay. Y kg. So here this is x kg. After this, here across this it is flowing 1 minus x kg. Here also again this 1 minus x kg. Y kg is diverted here. The rest mass is expanded 5 to 6. It is up to your condenser pressure level. Then this is being shown here, 5 to 6. And this mass fraction is 1 minus x minus y kg. 1 minus x minus y kg. Understood? Okay. Then from this point 6, this condensate will be saturated liquid. This will be 6 up to here. There will be, let it be 6. After this point, this will be 7. So let it, after this condenser, I am putting it. Let it be 6 dash. Okay, I have forgotten to give a name here. Better we will rectify 6 dash. So from 6 to 6 dash, it is the heat rejection in condenser. And after this condenser, this is all over this world, all over for engineering simplification, we have accepted the extract from the condenser is by default always a saturated liquid. So 6 dash is saturated liquid. So this is the 6 dash point. Okay. Then again from 6 dash to, it is the pressure of the condensate is increased from 6 dash to 7. And what is the point 7? 7 is the pressure line of OFWH2. So here isentropic pumping. So here I am putting a vertical line. Wherever it will intersect this OFWH2 pressure line, that will be state point 7. Okay. Then here you see state point 5 here. State point 5 and state point 7. State point 5 and state point 7. Both are added. Steam is added. Steam, and here feed water is being added. So what is the energy given away by y kg of steam is equal to energy accepted by, here this will be 1 minus x minus y kg of steam. Okay. And this mixture, the energy will be 8. Here you can see from OFWH2, this will be state point 8. So this 8 is by default, we have to take the saturated liquid point at OFWH2. This is by default, this is the standard we have to take. We cannot argue over this. This is the state point 8, the saturated liquid at OFWH2. Okay, and another 1 minus x minus y kg from here, and y kg both are added. So mass addition is takes place. So this now new mass is 1 minus x kg. Now you see from OFWH2, the feed water is going to OFWH1 through pump 1. So there will be again a pressure rise will be there. There will be again a pump. So here this will be from state point 8 through a pump, the pressure will rise, or the water boiler feed water, the pressure will rise from state point 8 to state point 9. State point 9 is OFWH pressure line. So here I am again going for a vertical isentropic pumping line. So wherever it will intersect the OFWH1 pressure line, that will be represented as state point 9. Again there will be a energy interaction, x kg of steam at here state point 2, and here this will be 1 minus x kg of steam at state point 9. Both energy interaction will take place, and the result output is your saturated liquid, which is going out from OFWH1, that is represented by state point 10. So OFWH1 here, this is after mixing of the steam and this liquid, this is state point 10. Okay, understood? So here again, this is now we have prepared our feed water to feed the boiler. Okay, so now from state point 10, the boiler water or the feed water is fed to this boiler through boiler feed pump here, and this is the 10 state point 11. So state point 10 is the OFWH1 pressure line, state point 11 is the boiler pressure line, and which is increasing the pressure in between these two. This is the boiler feed pump is increasing. So here again a isentropic pumping here to occur, and this will be state point 11. Okay, so now this is the block diagram, and this is the complete temperature entropy plot for our reheat and regenerative Rankine cycle. So here one thing you demarcate, the heat input is being decreased, the heat input is being substantially decreased. If it was not a regenerative Rankine cycle, we have to heat input from this point 7. So this much of heat we have, I will say you, this much of heat energy we have saved. This much of heat energy, if I will set it out, this much of heat energy, this Q in is saved. That's why heat input is decreased, and due to this reheat cycle, the net work output is increasing. So I am telling you, in reheat regenerative Rankine cycle, there will be substantial increase in efficiency due to increase in net work output and a decrease in heat input. That again we will go for some mathematical analysis. I am putting it here. Okay, we will see. I am writing thermodynamic analysis. So this will be W net will be W high pressure steam turbine plus W low pressure steam turbine. So high pressure steam turbine will be your from this point 1 to 2, and this is your state point 3. So this will be up to 1 to 2, this will be 1 kg. 1 kg of steam into H1 minus H2 kilojoule per kg, plus 2 to 3 it will be 1 minus x kg into H2 minus H3. Okay, this is for high pressure steam turbine. Then what is the net work output for low pressure steam turbine? For low pressure steam turbine, this is the low pressure steam turbine. I am putting here 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Here low pressure steam turbine you see. Low pressure steam turbine 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Okay. The 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. For 4, what is the mass fraction? 1 minus x kg. 1 minus x kg into H4 minus H5 plus here 1 minus x minus y kg into H5 minus H6. and the net you add it up. Okay. Then Q out, heat rejection out, Q out will be your 1 minus x minus y kg of steam into H6 minus H6 dash kilojoule per kg. Then heat input Q in. Q in will be, here that will be substantial decrease. Here you see 1 kg of steam into H1 minus H11. This H1 minus H11. H1 minus H11. Okay. So this will be, thermal efficiency will be W net divided by Q in. W net is increased, Q in is decreased, so thermal efficiency will be substantially decreased. Substantially increased. Okay, got it. And how much heat input will be saved? This I have saved. Q in is saved. Now the question is, another energy balance comes here in case of your regenerative Rankine cycle, reheat regenerative Rankine cycle. How to calculate these mass fractions, these x and y's. How to calculate how much mass has to be bleeded out for OFWH1, this x kg, how much mass has to be bleeded out for OFWH2, this y kg. Okay, this thing we will see. For this energy balance, this block diagram will help you much. So you have to refer the block diagram rather than TS plot. So we will start where from the unknown is less. Here the comparatively the unknown is much less for this OFWH1. So we will start from OFWH1. Energy balance in OFWH1. Okay, so here you give two, one is incoming arrow, another bottom here, this is incoming arrow, this is outgoing arrow. So how the energy will be balanced? Energy given away by x kg of steam is equal to energy accepted by 1 minus x kg of steam, and the net will be energy accepted by 1 kg of steam. So these two additions first will take place. So this will be x kg into H2. H2 is in terms of kilojoule per kg plus 1 minus x into, this will be at the state point H9 is equal to 1 kg into H10. So the equation looks like more compact. X H2 plus 1 minus x H9 is equal to 1 into H10. One equation, one unknown, H9 and H10, H2 you have to calculate from the steam table. You have to refer for the steam table. You will extract this. These things you already know. From this equation you can find out x. After getting this x, you have to put it here in OFWH2. So then we will go for energy balance for open feed water heater 2. Okay, open feed water heater 2, you see the arrow, 2 incoming arrow, 1 from the top, 1 from the bottom, 1 is going away. So how I have to write it? This is y kg, enthalpy is H5 into H5 plus, this is here 1 minus x minus y kg into, this is H7 is equal to, the net out is 1 minus x kg into H8. This is the state point here, H8, which is going out from OFWH1. Or this will look like y into H5 plus 1 minus x minus y into H7 is equal to 1 minus x into H8. I have already calculated x, the only unknown is y. So from here you calculate y kg. Okay, after this it is complete. Now you understood, and this is called as the practical cycle for the power plants, reheat and regenerative Rankine cycle.